I'm just gonna make a stance right now. If you're heavily into that, I don't like you. I don't like you and I don't trust you. I'm sorry.
I still love you, Kevin Smith. But
I don't like you and I don't trust you. And once again,
sometimes
stay
people like
away
dark
from my
shit, but yeah,
children.
I get.
Sweet Derek, are we live?
We are live, coming to you from Las Vegas, Nevada. This is the Naturals Pod.
Welcome to this episode of the Naturals Pod. As always, I'm Uncle Kyle, respectfully seated next to me, Sweet Derek, the producer.
Let's go.
This is our Halloween edition, coming to you on October 30th, which I believe is a Monday.
It is a Monday.
Year?
It is
Monday.
a Monday. Yep, absolutely, buddy.
Depressing that Halloween's on a Tuesday.
Still, everybody will celebrate the weekend before like they do, because nowadays it's an adult holiday.
Yeah, that's true. Halloween is definitely dying. I mean, we were in, was it Spirit Halloween or Party City or something?
Party City.
We were getting some little props for the pod, and we were in Party City, and I remember when we were kids, like, that was an event. When I got to go and pick out whatever scary mask I was going to don, that place was just a festival. Like, everything in the store was wall-to-wall Halloween, and they had, at the back of the store, I don't know if you remember this, because you were probably a kid up in Carson, but... Mm-hmm. They had like an entire department that was dedicated to masks, and they had some that were like hundreds of dollars that you could buy.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, they used to have like almost like a little haunted like house or castle little section that they build, and you walk in and it has all these cool costumes and shit like that. Man, when we walked in there, it was just a lot of cheap shit and just lame.
Yeah, and it's like the no-try costumes where it's all in a bag, and it's like garbage, man.
And it's just sad because I've noticed over the years, like trick-or-treating, the amount of houses with their lights turned off, even though you sure as fuck know they're home. And man, I remember when I was a kid, dude.
I am kind of one of those houses now.
I know. Unfortunately, mine sometimes too, dude, because, working or I'm out. But I would fill a fucking, I'm not even kidding, a pillowcase full of candy.
Pillowcase.
And I would have to go home and grab another one, dude. And I'd be like, we're hitting the streets again for some more candy, dude.
That's how you knew you were in the promised land when you graduated from the plastic pumpkin to the pillowcase.
To the pillowcase, dude.
You had to drag that thing home to get all the candy
and
back.
I'm just not, now it's become pretty much only an adult, I feel like an adult party holiday. And even that, I feel like, is dying out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, everything's becoming so commercialized. Like, I was in Home Depot this morning. They had the Christmas stuff out, Derek. We have not even made it to Halloween.
And they always skip like Thanksgiving and shit. Yeah. So it's just instead of Christmas.
Well,
dude.
You're not making money unless you're Tyson Turkey or Butterball or whatever. You're not making money on Thanksgiving, so there's no reason to.
Yeah, but there's still some fall decorations that people like for Thanksgiving, you'd think, right? But even that's kind of a dead thing.
Yeah, it's depressing. I mean, they're just killing the holidays. But yeah, with the masks, that was like my favorite thing because almost always. Excuse me, Dad would take me to, I don't know if it was Party City then. There used to be this store that was on Sahara and Jones that was, it was like an independently owned one, but they had really crazy shit as far as the mask goes. But like my dad and my mom weren't going to buy me like a $500 mask, but I would usually get something pretty cool. And then he and I would go get the mask. I'd come home and I'd go into the house as quietly as I could so I could catch Mom making dinner and Caitlin doing her homework and scare the shit out of both of them. It was like the highlight. Absolutely had to do it.
So, do you remember one of your highlight costumes, like one that you're really proud of and stoked to be?
Dude, I can't remember. I don't even know what to call this. It was like maybe like kind of a wolf man that wasn't totally a wolf.
Okay.
And it was a mask. And I enjoyed scaring people when I was younger. Now it's like a dangerous prospect because I'm a big husky dude and I'm not trying to get shot or stabbed by somebody.
Nowadays, it takes shit too far.
Yeah.
Side note.
But we, like Caitlin was saying when she was on, Halloween in our neighborhood was insane. There was probably a minimum of half a dozen houses that actually had haunted houses in their houses.
Oh, sick.
Everybody gave out candy. Other neighborhoods would literally make like hay trailers and pull them into the neighborhood, and like kids that didn't even, I thought that shit was, in hindsight I'm like, well, what are you doing? But they would come, because our neighborhood was really cool. And then towards the end of the night when it got later, because I was such a creep, my mom had this old beach cruiser bicycle. Yeah. and I would wear my mask, and I could ride the bike without my hands on the handlebars.
Yeah, I used to be able to do
so I
that,
would just creepily ride the bike around the neighborhood by the time everybody was like getting done trick-or-treating. And I'm just like, in hindsight, the police could have been called on me, but
Yeah.
it didn't happen.
It's all right. It's a night of debauchery, dude. It's supposed to be. So, on that note, so because we're gonna transition here a little bit, but I have to ask one thing. So, were you a shenanigans guy on Halloween? Did you do the eggings or the doorbell ditching or the TP stuff? Were you one of those guys? I was not.
When I
really bad
was
about that
younger,
shit.
I wasn't, but and this is gonna make me sound like an asshole because I was. But when I
kids
was in
did.
high school, I want to say like sophomore and junior year, me and the group of friends that I would hang out with, we would go out and like in broad daylight after school. The second we got out of
Damn,
school, we
dude.
were just being degenerates, dude. So we would go out and like the one time, because when Caitlin went to college, my parents had bought her a Jeep Liberty, and it has like the little glass hatch on the back. So I would open that up, and they would go out door to door and just steal all the pumpkins. And one time, and I was just the wheelman in this situation, but one time we got caught by these two giant motherfucking dudes, and they grabbed my buddies Brian and Justin, and Brian kicked one of them in the nuts, and they ran, and we got out of there. And then I think there was this other yard that had all these crazy like elaborate setups, and they had like the little animatronic guys, and one of them was a Freddy, and we stole that too.
They have some cool stuff though. Decorations for Halloween probably is one of the coolest as far as decoration.
Yeah, but I mean, to your point, like people just aren't doing it anymore. I'll try to get a picture of it so you could throw it up. But one of the houses in our neighborhood has kind of a cool setup this year. They have skeletons in the front, and I think one of them's in like a little jacuzzi tub, and two of the other ones are playing beer pong. And they have
that's
a whole
kinda sick.
table
That
set
is
up,
kinda
so that's
cool.
nice.
Yeah, there's one decent one by my in my neighborhood too, but that's funny. The only craziest thing I did was pull the purse. Do you know what pull the purse is? So
It sounds worse than me stealing pumpkins and jacking an animatronic
So,
Freddy Krueger.
pull the purse is you take a empty purse and you attach it to a fishing line, and then you
Oh, I got you $1.
and then you throw it
almost
into
got
the
it.
street, and people would stop and pull over to like grab a purse, dude, thinking they fucking made it. And we'd be like, ah!
That's pretty good. That's pretty
Yeah,
good.
That was a good one.
Pull
dude.
the purse had me thinking of something
But one
else.
thing I did love, and I'm curious if you love them, is I did love me some haunted houses. Did you go to those like hot, like giant high-end
absolutely.
ones and stuff, dude? I
Well-
love those, dude. Like in Reno, they had some big ones,
Yeah.
like Frightmere and stuff.
There
Even
was the
Adventure Dome.
one. It was the throughout town. I think the one that had cornered the market was the Freakling Brothers, and they had
Yeah.
a bunch of them. And then coincidentally, like right where your store is, they always had this one called the Black Box.
Yep, and it's in that parking lot.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is it there now?
No, but I've seen it there. I don't know if they're doing it anymore. But I did go to the Adventure Dome. Had usually a cool
Yeah,
one too.
yeah, they have
sometimes
Fright
in there.
Dome.
It's just too many fucking people when I went, dude. I was
Yeah.
like, the lines were too crazy, but.
That, and I'm just not a kid anymore. But like the Black Box was cool. If you put a gun to my head and asked me how the whole experience went, I can't remember. And then when I was younger than that, my dad, Jared, and I and Jared's dad, Tim, we went to one that was called Area 51, and it was alien themed, and it was pretty
cool.
cool.
That
It was
sounds
more of
tight.
like a, yeah, I mean, it was alien. It was less horror, and it was
Yeah.
more because like you worked through the maze, and when you got to like the center of it where they had a courtyard, they had like a little battle set up where it was like, oh my god, they're overrunning us.
I mean,
and,
that
like,
sounds fun.
Yeah, it was. It was
Yeah,
pretty
that
cool.
Sounds cool. I remember, dude, one was so funny. So for me, I kind of just, I enjoyed kind of like the scene. I actually, what's funny is it was hard to me, not to say they never got me, but I was not a jump scare guy.
Hydration.
I just love seeing like the layouts, and I respected it because like I'm a movie and like a nerd with special effects and
Yeah.
stuff, so I would admire that. But it was hilarious because I don't know if you've been in one like this, but the guy with the real chainsaw, and they take the fucking and then, well, dude, it was fucking hilarious because it was Texas Chainsaw Massacre when that movie came out. If you remember the one when they did the remake, and so it was like a big deal. And he came running out, and the people in front of me were fucking so scared. He's behind me, and they ate shit in front of me, dude.
Oh,
So now I had to
no.
stop, and he's just taking the chainsaw and going, meow, meow, like on my back. And I'm like, hey, dude, these fucking people ate shit, and I'm just laughing.
That's the nightmare of going into a haunted house, is that
I'm
you're
like, "You
gonna
fucking
trip or somebody
idiots."
else gonna trip, and you're gonna trip
and
over
this
them.
guy's just like, meow, meow, on my back. I'm like,
Dude,
Okay, dude.
one time, and I think it was at the Black Box, and I think I was in like 7th or 8th grade. Me and a couple of buddies, we invited some of the little girls in our class. And in that age, you're like, oh, this is so exciting.
yeah,
Hang
it's
out
like a
with some
date night
chicks.
thing. Yeah, absolutely.
And there was this guy who was like, he had a scary mask on and he was walking around like scraping a shovel on the ground, you know, similar to the chainsaw thing, just to like unsettle you. But he did it too aggressively one time and just straight cracked this lady in the shin.
Oh, dang.
And the act was immediately over at that point because this lady's husband was about to dismantle the guy for doing that. And I was like, oh,
he probably was like, I'm so sorry. What, did
oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Immediately broke character. Yeah. I mean, you need to not take your job so seriously. How much could you possibly be paying to play a ghoul? You know, be scary, but also...
I'm sure it's kind of a fun job though when you're a kid. I know it was a lot of like high school kids and shit that did it. It's probably kind of fun to like fuck with people if you like doing that.
Yeah, yeah. No, that would be cool.
Dude, have you heard of this shit? And I'm gonna have to probably Google it, but
I already know exactly where you're going.
The McCamey.
Yep.
Where you have to sign a fucking 40-page waiver to do this shit, and they say if you last and you can make it, they pay you $20,000, and no one has yet.
No, because they do obscene, like disgusting shit.
They'll leave you in shit like buried in a fucking thing for hours and just leave. It's like torture shit. Yeah. You're like allowing to do that. Why would you want? Why, that's not fun.
You're fucking.
Why would you do that?
We'll see if we can look it up and put a link up. Because there was a journalist. I can't remember if he worked for one of the major publications, like something that somebody would actually read, not just somebody who's like horror fanatic 679.com or whatever the fuck, you know, like this was a legitimate journalist who was like, this is what I did, I signed up for this experience and this is how it went. And I mean, this is somebody I believe who was already kind of a horror enthusiast to begin with.
Yeah, of course.
So they themselves were interested in it, and it just kind of coincidentally was like, I'm going to write a piece on this, and I'm going to kind of get to do something that I'm interested in. But we'll look it up. But I think they said they lasted around 4 or 5 hours or something. But they were like, it was intense. And I have so many. I'm going to try to not get angry while I'm talking about this because it bothers me.
Yeah, it bothers me too. That's why I wanted to bring it up.
It bothers me that somebody made this shit up.
Correct.
And it bothers it. Like, I guess I should mind my own fucking business, but it bothers me that people sign up to it. Why do you want to be tormented and tortured? What is wrong with your fucking brain?
And the problem is most of them think, oh, this will be fun, and then they realize, oh, this isn't fun. Yeah, it's not fun. It was never meant to be fun. That's why you have to sign waivers. That's why they get you with you get cash price. Well, no one's gonna do that because they do horrible shit to you. They'll hit you or they spit on you. They had one where they bury you and shit. Why? It's
and
weird,
like I remember one video that I saw where they were like stuffing like rotten food in their face. Like they had them in some kind of device where like horrible. It was like a fucking saw contraption.
Yeah, exactly. It's weird shit, dude. It's weird shit. It's a very strange thing. And I thought for a while that it was like an illegal thing because I thought someone got really hurt or maybe even died potentially or something, and it was like an illegal. And now I've heard it's came back, and I'm like, why
see, the hook is weird. People are like, I'm gonna get that money.
Yeah, I'm gonna make it through.
And these sadists that work there go, no, you're not. But I mean, they must have some insane kind of lawyer who wrote that contract up to make that absolutely bulletproof, short of killing you.
The people that do it to the people, Kyle, I want to almost say they're on the level of serial killer, and they're just not ready to commit an actual murder, and they get off doing that.
100%. 100%. And I don't Those like people should be on a fucking watch list.
Correct. That really, really bothers me. But I had to bring that up because it's always like the haunted houses. I love the ones that are fun, they're entertaining, but you get to that level, it's just like, what are we doing?
Just like many things we've talked about, look this up at your own discretion. I would not suggest it because, like I said, just watching it makes me mad for so many reasons. Yeah, because
there's actual videos and it's pretty disturbing.
At your discretion, I would say if you could find one that's mildly tame that at least gives people an idea of what this is all about. Because if you haven't heard about this, you are in for a rude awakening. It is fucking insane.
It's disturbing.
We cannot stress enough that it is literally softcore torture.
I mean, people could Google it. I don't even think I want to attach it to the pod.
Yeah, we won't.
But you can Google it if you want to at your own risk. But I'm telling you now, it's disturbing. But moving on from that chaos, so we got to talk about one of the beauties of the Halloween time. One of my all-time favorites as a movie nerd is Halloween movies. They are amazing.
Are you okay? So are you talking about Halloween movies as in Halloween the movie series or just Halloween movies
in general? I like the Halloween movies as well, but I'm just saying I love like horror and like Halloween time movies, dude.
Okay.
I'm a big fan of this season of movies like Freddy Krueger,
Friday
the 13th.
Hit me with the top 3 right now. Yeah, and I'm going to say They must be in order.
Okay.
Top 3 in order
So
right
this is
now.
gonna
Go
be
3, 2, 1.
This is gonna be pretty tough. Oh, you want me to go from 3 to 1?
Absolutely. You got to have the big finish because the number one's got to be like and then I can tell you that you're wrong.
So I would say probably for the third one, because you always have to put a slasher movie in there, and maybe people will give me shit on this, but I love Scream. The original Scream.
Okay.
Is a
No, I
fucking
can get down with that.
fantastic movie. It has comedy. It has horror. It's everything you want in a slasher movie. It's got a little bit of a mini twist. It's got the characters, and I will even go as far as to say that the sequels were pretty entertaining. They get a little kooky and stuff.
And it got
like all the
spoofed.
theaters, but
So I mean, if you get spoofed by another movie,
Scary Movie, also hilarious comedy.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put that in that, but
yeah,
those were
not a
also
Halloween
great movies
movie,
too.
but good comedy.
So I would say for a slasher film, I'm gonna have to go with the Scream.
Okay.
Number two is gonna be like a tough one for me, and number 2 might make me sound.
I feel like you have a locked in number 1 if you're saying number 2
I
is
do.
difficult.
I have
Okay.
a locked in number 1 that is probably gonna be a lot of people's number ones, and I don't know how it isn't. But for me, I'm gonna say a number 2, and this might make me seem strange or whatever, but dude, motherfucking Hocus Pocus, bro. I fucking love that movie. It's been a childhood favorite of mine. I will still watch it at this age. It's just a fucking great fun movie. It's just really
I'm on board.
fun, man.
Absolutely.
That's
when Disney movies were just amazing, dude.
So it's almost like just the childhood, probably. You know, it's got nostalgia for me.
Nostalgia. Love the pick.
The story's great. Just everything. It's just a fun fucking Halloween perfect movie.
Agreed. Give me the number 1.
And the number 1 is gotta be Hereditary. Now, Hereditary is one of the most broken, disturbed horror movies that you can watch. I think,
I haven't watched it and I won't. Chris loves that movie too,
It's
and I guess
fucking
if you both twist my arm enough, perhaps I will watch it. But
So we're
really,
gonna
really
have to
don't
watch
want
that now, and it's gonna have to be a movie review. And prepare yourself, Kyle, because it is the type of movie that you feel filthy after watching.
Yeah, I'm gonna wear the fucking sunglasses while I'm watching the movie
But
too to shield my poor little eyeballs.
It is top tier horror, and I think it is arguably probably one of the best horror movies that's been made in the last fucking 20 years. It's that good. It is everything you want. It makes you feel you're disturbed. You don't know what's going on. You're horrified.
I don't want it.
It's gonna bother you.
Only for the sake of the
great
pod.
movie, yeah.
I've been having trouble sleeping enough as it is lately. You're gonna make me watch this terrible movie, which, by the way, Chris gave me little highlights of, and I was like, I don't know. No, I don't want to watch it.
I don't want to give you highlights because I don't want to ruin it. I want to tell you.
I
shit,
already
but
know the basic plot
okay.
and everything that happens. It'll just be absorbing the horror into my
So
brain.
you know the
when it
allergy
happens.
response scene.
Let's not get into this, okay? I'll watch it and we'll deal with it
But
later.
shout out! I would love people in the comments to tell me what your top 3 are, because I think those are mine.
Yeah.
I kind of went with the good with the slasher, the feel good before I hit you with the dirty, disturbing horror. Now
I'm
I
gonna
want
be
to know
sullen
yours.
and downtrodden for that movie review,
Yeah.
just having to recount watching that dog shit or whatever.
I mean,
it
it's
is.
not dog shit. It's a phenomenal movie.
for me,
it
it's
just
gonna be
makes
dog
you
shit.
feel.
I'm not a fan.
It makes you feel, dude.
Chris loves it too. I'm the dissenting opinion on this, but I don't want to watch it, but I'm gonna watch it.
And I would say for me, like if I had to pick just one more, a fourth one, The Conjuring. I love those fucking.
Okay,
anything
yeah,
connect
I
with
can get
too.
down
Those
with that.
movies, The
Shout out to
Conjuring are
Cecily.
great.
She loves those
Great.
movies.
Those are
great
great
movies.
movies.
I would agree.
But what's your top 3? I gotta know
Okay,
yours
so
now.
3, you kind of bit my style. I would
sorry,
say,
buddy.
no, it's fine because it is a common pick.
Right.
Hocus Pocus, amazing,
Yeah,
love
it's
it.
great, dude.
If you
It's such
you don't
a
have a
good
fucking
movie.
soul, if
Yeah,
you like
it's
Halloween
so
and you don't like
good.
Hocus Pocus,
Yeah,
there's
it's
something wrong
just
with
a
you.
great movie.
Bette Midler, Sarah Jessica Parker, can't remember the other lady's name, and it's just fantastic.
great
The movie's a
movie,
great
yeah.
movie.
It's just a fun movie.
Second, and I can't remember the official title. You will have to get it and throw it up. It's the Halloween. Busta Rhymes is in it. It's the one where they go to Michael Myers' house and they're doing a reality show. He's kind of the producer who's in the garage with all the gear.
Okay,
And then
yeah.
shit goes sideways. Love Busta Rhymes and Halloween movies. So it was just, it was the perfect
I'll have
combination.
to look which one. There's so many of them. but
Number
they're-
one, and it's great. And this movie's kind of an anthology, like it's a few stories stuffed together, and they all kind of interconnect. Trick or Treat, love that movie.
Yep,
Great
that,
movie.
That was a one that I would have
And
mentioned too. Trick or Treat is a great
Honorable
film, too.
mention for my slashers are and this isn't necessarily a Halloween movie, and that's why I didn't put it on the list, but it is a slasher horror movie. I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Okay,
love
yeah,
those
yeah,
movies,
those are good.
both of them.
I like
I
those
don't think
too.
that if they made any more than 2, and also Jennifer Love Hewitt, even to this day,
Smoke show.
bless you, woman, you look so good. You still are just
Yeah. Those movies are fun, man. They got a bad rap, but back then they're really fun. The Screams, I Know What You Did Last Summers, they were just good.
We really
movies.
grew up in like the golden age of slasher films where
Oh,
like
yeah.
they were
So
scary
many
and
good
tense. They had good stories and twists. Like now they lean too much into the crazy gore and like super sadistic twisted shit. And that's
like
just
torture.
not my jam.
I don't like torture
Nope.
porn. I don't like torture porn, dude. I don't like Hostel and like The Green Inferno.
Those
and shit
movies
like
are
that.
disgusting. Like if you wrote that, we're not going to do an entire pod about my dislike for the people that conceptualize those movies and then film them. Yuck. And stay away from my children. I don't have any, but if they
I
ever
always think that
exist,
too. If you're the one that writes that, like how dark and shit are you in your mind to even kind of come up with that shit?
Yeah.
It's pretty disturbing. But
It's
I
not
I
for
do
me.
love me a good horror movie, man. I do like the horror shit. Now I will say I haven't watched it. But the new Exorcist is getting shit on. It's got like
I did. I
20%.
saw that. I
It's
saw
got
that.
like a 20% on Rotten Tomatoes.
well, I
Like,
saw a
there's no
post on
originality.
Instagram that said that the studio budgeted $300 million because they're making that one and then they're making like
three
one
of
or
them.
two
I think
more.
they're gonna make 3 of them.
And they said in the post that whether or not this first one takes a giant shit, which spoiler alert, it has, they are making the other ones. And I'm like, oh my God, that's like just the studio doing ball
Well, this is
torture
my
to
problem
itself.
with movies in general, and I don't know if we've talked about this on the pod, but I'm just sick of remakes. Like, stop making,
Correct.
just stop remaking everything.
Correct.
Just stop redoing everything. Just where the fuck is the originality? Especially
Yeah.
you want to pick it and do all shit. We're important. Well, then write something new. Come up with a fucking new idea and stop just revamping every bullshit idea.
There isn't anything though,
I know.
and to that point, what I'm going to say is, with the internet and social media and how quickly everything is put out and so many people doing things independently that aren't attached to studios, the horror, I mean, movies are really having a hard time finding anything new or compelling to show us.
Yeah, that's not a comic
But,
book movie or
You know,
whatever.
horror was so niche, and in our time, like they really kept it around the Halloween season and
Yeah.
stuff because it is really a seasonal thing, and Halloween caters to the horror genre. And now it's really all about, and that's why it's getting so extreme and crazy. Because if they're, oh man, do not look this up. Do not look this up, but we will talk about it. What? Oh my God! And now I'm not going to remember.
Terrifier.
Yes.
See, I already know what you're thinking.
My God. So there is this movie called Terrifier.
I like that we're telling people not to look this up, which is just going to make them want to look it up.
I mean, at your own risk. I can't tell you how to live your life.
These are disturbing.
But I am
movies.
going to give you a little sampling of what this is about, and then you can make that decision for yourself. Your eyes will bleed afterwards, or if you don't look, you'll be thanking me. Don't do it. Terrifier is the total like complete example of what I'm just like, I'm not interested in that shit.
So it's a
gross,
slasher film
it's
that just
fucked
takes
up.
it to a dark level, of
And
what
it
you
doesn't
don't wanna
have
see.
any
It's like
kind of
torture film.
storyline. There's no rhyme or reason. It is literally
about a
a
scary-ass clown
demented looking clown that just wanders around
And murders
He never speaks and just murders people in like gruesome, horrible ways. And apparently, because it was within, I think it was sometime this year, they released the second one. And this is really niche. This is something that has a cult following. And
Yes, it
I
does.
believe they did similar to what Super Troopers did with the second movie. This one was crowdfunded, and they did a
Kevin
GoFundMe
Smith,
or whatever.
who I love. Kevin Smith does a lot of good movies. He's into those movies, and I think he was one of the people pushing for the second one. It's, you know, he's into those weird art house shit sometimes, and I love Kevin Smith, but I'm like, oh man, that's a tough one to get behind.
I like some of his movies, but like, I'm just gonna make a stance right now. If you're heavily into that, I don't like you. I don't like you, and I don't trust you. I'm
I
sorry.
still love you, Kevin Smith, but
I don't like you, and I don't trust you. And once again,
sometimes
stay
people like
away
dark
from my
shit. But yeah,
children.
I guess maybe they just love the
Why?
art of it because it looks so real.
why?
But I don't.
We need
I
to
don't
find
need
one of
that.
these
I don't know.
fucking
Yeah,
people,
I don't
Derek,
know.
and
It's
we need
weird.
them in that chair or whatever the next chair is gonna be, so I can be like, fucking explain yourself right now. And if you don't give me a good enough answer, I'm gonna open the door, and there's gonna be a clown with a hatchet who's gonna
I
kill
always
you.
fuck up
Figure
the
it
name,
fuck
but it's
out.
like the house that Jack built?
Yeah.
The House of Jack
Yeah.
built. Dude. I wish I never watched it. It was so hard to watch. It was just too realistic of a serial.
I
killer
would
with
rather
just no
watch
heart
that
and
after seeing the trailer and reading the plot than the fucking Terrifier movie, dude. That is like
Yeah.
top level yuck. Fuck
Yeah.
that. And say whatever
tough.
you will to me about, oh, you're a pussy and da 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 da. Fine. Okay. We'll find out. We'll find
No,
out.
I don't really like watching realism shit like that. It's just we're just going into torture porn stuff. But I still love overall the normal Halloween movies. I love the Freddy Kruegers, the fucking Jason.
Yeah,
Voorhees and
classics.
all the
Even the cheesy
classics,
one.
dude.
Do you remember
Yeah, dude.
Jason X where they were in
Space.
fucking space? Wasn't the whole plot like they had essentially captured him and they had him chained up? They had
I think
shot
he
him
was
with
frozen.
a cannon
I
and
think he
all
was
kinds of
frozen,
shit.
I think, or something.
But I
Dude,
think in the
wasn't he
beginning of the
frozen?
movie, we will look this up because I'm almost 1000% sure I'm correct.
Yeah.
They had him in some like deep basement government warehouse.
Oh, probably.
And he was
It's
crazy
hilarious.
chained up.
Yeah.
And there was some guy who was like, the warden of this one man prison or whatever who said, we've tried everything. We've burned him. We've shot him. We've dipped him in acid and he just won't go anywhere. And then somehow he's frozen and ends up in space. They blow pieces off of him with a space weapon, and then just magically, because this is the way things always work on the ship, they had a machine that would like essentially, if you're a human and you got blown to shit, they could put your body in there and this thing would reconstruct
Yeah, it's like a
you.
futuristic sci-fi.
But it took
movie.
metal
It's
and it
hilarious,
like
yeah.
made Jason super fucking Terminator Jason.
I mean, I even liked Freddy versus Jason, even though that
Great.
cheese,
Oh, I loved it. I don't care
it,
about the
dude.
cheese.
Yeah.
That movie is great.
Yeah, so-
And the guy's like trying not to fall asleep. And,
Yeah.
"One, two,
That would be
Freddy's
one of the
coming
toughest
for
things ever.
you."
I think you're fucked if you're in that realm. Like if you're a character, how do you beat that? You have to sleep as a human being. You can't. Beat
I mean,
that.
this is something you're not supposed to say on the internet, and I'm going to let everybody figure it out, but you know how you beat that. You know. You know how you beat that.
No, you
Or,
just
that's how you beat that. And then you might get a daily double two
you're
for
not even gonna try
dose
to
of
fight.
shit.
You're not even gonna try to fight.
No,
dude.
I will, but I'm saying if you're someone who is like, oh, this is going to be terrible. I mean, for me, do I want horrible things to happen to me? No. But also, like, if I'm going against a monster and it's almost certainly going to be a quick death, oh,
Yeah.
we're going out fucking in a blaze of glory. And in the off chance we slay the beast, legend forever.
What is one like monster or Halloween movie character you think you could beat? So like Freddy Krueger would be tough, right? I don't think you're gonna beat him because he has control of
Well,
your
that's
mind,
an
everything
easy
in a
answer,
dream,
though.
right?
The Scream guy or the guy from, well, it was a different guy in the I Know What You Did Last Summer movies, because they're human. And you just need to have a fucking
Yeah, but they're
brain
sneaky
and not...
kind of though. They're kind of sneaky.
Derek, how long have you known me? I'm one of the most paranoid people on the planet. Do you think their sneakiness is going to avert my paranoia?
Yeah,
like,
I guess
that's
you could
gonna
just
be the,
shoot 'em, right?
Yeah, that'll be the fucking shortest movie ever, dude. They'll be
Yeah.
full of holes. And
So
the
you're
police
saying
will be
Scream
like,
character, okay.
why did you have to shoot them 1,000
Now a
times?
non-human.
Because I didn't have 2,000 fucking bullets.
If you had to pick a non,
No,
human,
I
who do you
know.
think you could beat?
That is a tough.
a good
That
one,
is
right?
a tough answer. So I'm gonna say, just because it would be epic if you win this one, Sleepy Hollow, not
Ooh,
Ichabod Crane, but
yeah.
the horseless rider.
Yeah.
Yes, and then you
That's
then you
kind
steal
of
his
cool-
fucking
that's a little
mount like you're in
throwback. I
World
like
of
that one.
Warcraft.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Also, great Halloween movie. Shout out Johnny Depp. Love
Yeah,
that movie,
yeah, it
dude.
was good.
Sleepy Hollow, great.
It was good.
Okay, who are you going up against, big dog? Because it's like Michael Myers in one of the Halloween movies. Jamie Lee Curtis cuts his fucking head off, and then he just magically comes
No,
back.
I know,
How?
I know. Jason Voorhees
You know.
is the same. You can't
Yeah.
beat him. He's super like strong. It's like that game they Friday the 13th where you're like a character or you're him and you run around. That's kind of funny. But yeah, you're not beating him. That is a good question that I came up with there because I don't know who you can beat, man. You're right. Unless they're human, I just don't know if you're beating any of them. But
If we
I think
ever,
it would
while
be
you figure
cool-
it out, if we ever do streaming, like you and I, like fuck around and play some video games. Have you seen that game Dead by Daylight, where they essentially, I think there's 4 people that are like the victims or like the people that are stuck, and then one person gets to play the bad guy, and they have like all the classic horror bad guys, and they have special abilities and shit. It's cool. You'll look it
Oh,
up.
that's
But
cool.
anyways,
Yeah, I'll have to
continue with
check
what you're
that
on.
out.
Yeah. Dead by Daylight.
I mean, for me, that is a tough one. I think it would be cool to somehow, and we're already in Fantasyland, so I'm gonna say that this is why I'm going this way.
Okay.
If I could figure out how to fucking lucid dream and like battle back Freddy Krueger, bro, like my fucking lucid dream against your fucking dreams, and we're in a dream world, and we're battling in my dreams and your dreams. I'm bringing you into my world.
So you're saying
now.
you would out mind fuck the monster with knife hands?
I think that would be kind of cool. I'm probably not winning that, but that'd be cool to have that ability and then not take him on, dude. It'd just be like a fucking crazy.
What was the Rick and Morty spoofed that, but what did they call the guy in that one? He was like, "Come here, bitch," and he kept saying, "Bitch, bitch, I'm gonna slice you up, bitch."
He goes home to his wife. He's like, "Oh, I had a tough day," and then they're like friends with them and shit.
Shout out Rick and Morty.
I love Rick and Morty. It's a great show, dude. So, but yeah, man, Halloween, dude. It's a shame that unfortunately it's a dying holiday, but we had to hit you with the fun Halloween.
One little add-on. Caitlin and I mean, we were spoiled. Our parents were by no means rich, but they made sure we had fun as kids. One of the things we did every year that was super fun, and I doubt they do this anymore, but Terribles had one of the drive-through car washes that they would.
They're still doing that.
Oh, they really do.
I actually saw a post for that. It's a haunted car
shit!
wash.
Well, we might have to do that and film it because that would be kind of fun. Because it was fun back in the day, but they got a little wild sometimes. Like if you didn't lock your doors, they would open it up and they'd like rah and get in there. But it wasn't anything like salacious or like over the top. Like they were just kind of like trying to scare you a little bit. But it was fun. Dude.
I mean, bless the costumes though. You know what I'm saying? For the women that want to rock the costumes, bless you, because I would just hang out on the street.
What are we going to be this year, ladies? Sexy kitty, sexy police whooping, sexy firefighter, sexy nurse. They're all sexy. Pick one and be sexy. We love you.
It is it's like an excuse for all of them to get sexy, but I'm not going to complain about it.
We are not hating on it. As a man who loves a good sexy nurse,
I admire it. You know
I need a checkup. You know, it's consensual checkup.
Yeah, but good for you, ladies. But all right, man. I think that's our Halloween episode.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And we hope you guys enjoy tomorrow night. It is Tuesday, so for those of you that work during the week, take it easy. For those of you that have kids, we hope you have a great time. Be safe.
Trick-or-treating.
Show your little ones the fun that is Halloween. It is kind of a dying holiday.
I think they go to places now, mainly, right?
Yeah, but because it's more safe that way.
Stuff. Yeah, but have a good time.
I totally respect
it's still
that.
Fun. Yeah, absolutely, man. I don't have little ones, but if I'm sure I did, I would want to take them still trick-or-treating. It's a good time, dude.
Yeah, I'm never having children, so if you want to let me borrow your children and show them the magic of Halloween, nothing creepy will happen. I'll take them to do candy, and maybe we'll pop somebody in a mask just for fun. Be like, you got too close. Yeah.
Taking your candy.
Anyways, exciting things coming up, guys. I've been talking about ad nauseum, so we're not going to run through the list, but we really appreciate you guys being here with us. We got so much more cool shit to come. In case you guys didn't notice, we're rocking our little costumes. We're like the little Naturals baseball team, custom jerseys. Yep. So anyways, we'll see you on the next one. I've been Uncle Kyle. That's my main man, Sweet Derek. See you later.
Love you, Natty Nation. Remember, like, comment, subscribe.
Give us that love for the algo, boys and girls.
Happy Halloween, everybody.
Happy Halloween, guys. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Naturals Pod. Please remember to follow us on your Twitter and Instagram accounts at the Naturals Pod. Do you have what it takes to join the Natty Nation? Like and subscribe to find out.